On the college football, I'm going to talk about this topic. This topic, Deion Sanders is so polarizing. I love my therapist. I do. Dr. J, I love you. But it's so polarizing. He is so polarizing. What he's doing is so polarizing that my therapeutic session was based around, and I loved it. We had a great session. And how he tied my life and the things that I'm doing and where we're going in this journey to Deion. It's great because he understands the language that I speak. And so instead of bringing up some big philosophical words that'll bore me to death, he makes it relevant. And that just tells you and shows you just how much Deion has continued to grow this thing. Let me just, the legend grows. It seems like it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger every single day. Game 3 of this season will be this week. I think it's 9 p.m. Central Time. College game day will be there. You know it's a big game when they march college game day out. Quick sidebar. And I don't want to fire people, but ESPN, stop marching Lee Corso out there. I get that I don't know what he is, but he looks bad. You don't understand what he's saying. And Kurt Herbstreit, God bless you, brother, because he's like dad or grandpa to you, and you're just like, You're like lugging him along. You really are. And I know that he is a staple in college football, but at some point in time, let that old horse just go out into the pasture and graze and just be. Stop propping that man up on TV. For real. But college game day will be there. Fox Big Noon Kickoff will be there. First Take, Stephen A. and Skip are heading back there to do a show. 60 minutes. 60 minutes. That ain't even sports related. Not 30 for 30. 60 minutes will be in attendance. They'll be doing something on Deion this week. And not only is Colorado and Deion growing, the money's growing there too. Shador, right now, is projected. His money right now is projected at $4.1 million that he'll get off NIL money this year. Now, I don't count brothers' pockets. Okay? I don't. I try to stick to my own. It's a lot of bread. It's a lot of bread. And I'm happy. I'm so happy for NIL athletes. A little jealous. As someone who was a two-sport athlete at a major Division I university, I could have made some bread back in the day. Excuse me. Could have made some bread. But Shador, $4.1 million. And every week he wins, every week Colorado wins, the legend grows. Shador is now the number 3 quarterback listed behind Drake May and Caleb Williams. And we're going to have the conversation. I don't know if we're not going to have it today. Maybe next week. We're going to have the conversation of whether or not Shador loves his daddy enough. No, I'm playing. I think Shador loves his daddy. But does Shador love his daddy enough to forego heading to the National Football League to come back for a senior season at Colorado? Huh? Is the bond thick enough, strong enough, that Shador says, Dad, I'm going to see this thing through, Or does Deion say, baby boy, you got to go? We're going to have, I'm not going to have it today. But that's a conversation that needs to be had. Because that's a realistic conversation about what they have going on in Colorado. The recruits are coming. Deion, not only is Deion going to have another good portal season, he's going to have a great recruiting season, like regular recruiting season. I think he's going to dominate the portal again. I told y'all before, he has the number one quarterback sitting on his bench. Last name McClain. Sitting on the bench. It's going to be interesting to see. But that's a conversation for another day. Does Shador love daddy enough to come back for another season? But I am all in on this Deion thing. I cannot get away. If you're like me, I'm watching interviews, I'm watching sound bites. He had me darn near crying listening to his pregame speech the other day. He is captivating and polarizing, and I cannot get enough of him. I know a lot of y'all want to see him lose. I know. And what's the great Batman quote? Either you die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. That's what y'all are waiting for. Y'all are waiting for him to lose so you can pounce all over him. And he might lose this weekend. Doesn't negate the fact that what he's done is unprecedented. Doesn't change the fact that if he loses this week, he can win the next two. God forbid, if Deion pulls off a win against Oregon and figures out a way to beat USC, he might be unbearable. You know what I love about this whole Deion situation? And I'm not ever going to not love this. Because we, as people, as humans, like I said in my opening about people will project their insecurities onto you. And they think because they can't do it, or they don't know how to do it, that you can. And in this short time, Deion has said confidently, boldly, we coming. I'm bringing my luggage. It's Louis. And I think his verbiage is no different than another coach that says, my goal is to come here and win championships. Well, that's Deion's goal too. He just told y'all he's going to do it in style. And I love that. And I think guys who have this, like Deion, and he said this as well, he's been him for a long time, since Little League. And I think the thing about Deion that is like Michael Jordan in The Last Dance, they look for things to motivate them. So if Deion tells you publicly what I'm going to do, behind the scenes when I get a little bit tired, when I don't want to watch that extra hour of film, when I don't want to double check that play, when I don't want to do that extra, when I don't want to make sure things are exactly how they're supposed to be, I'm quickly reminded that I said these things publicly and they're waiting for me to fall. So now dotting that I and crossing that T becomes easier. It becomes mandatory. When Deion told you 75% of the world is covered by water and the other 25 is covered by me, that was a telltale sign to the quarterback, to the receivers. If you want this smoke, you know where I'm at. His shirt says, I ain't hard to find. And he lived that way on the football field because It drove him. I was in the locker room with Chad Ochocinco, and he would do things of that nature. When I got there as a rookie, every rookie DB had a player card autographed by Chad Ochocinco, and they all had a little note to it. This is a true story. And the way that he positioned these cards and this note was super strategic. Because you pick the card up first, and then you pick the note up. And every one of the young DB's note read this: enjoy this moment, because this is the last time you'll ever have your hands on me again. That's what he wrote. Because you're actually holding his player's card, his football card. Enjoy this moment, because this was the last time you will ever have your hands on me. The whole thing in the locker where he was checking off the DBs that he had to go against, when he sent other DBs Pepto-Bismol because they were going to be sick trying to defend him. That wasn't because that was making sure that everything that I did on the practice field, I had to back that up. So the days when I got to Paul Brown Stadium and I didn't feel like practicing, well, I just told the world that Champ Bailey can't defend me. I just told the world that Al Harris can't lock me up. I just told the world whoever can't see me. I gotta practice today. I gotta watch film today. That's the same thing with Deion. When he says these things, and Chad believed him. Deion believed him. Same thing with Michael Jordan when he said, I had to find things to drive me. I always wanted things to be personal. And that's what I love about what Deion's doing now. Everything is personal. And he's loudly telling you what he's going to do. It's not for you to know. It's for him and his coaches, for his players to now back it up. And that's what it comes down to. And a lot of y'all don't like it because it's not the way that y'all would do things. Clearly, he doesn't care. And I love every bit of it. Go Deion.